Hey, welcome back. Welcome to my channel. So, when I left you yesterday, I wasn't feeling too good. I'm feeling a little bit better today, but I didn't know what to talk about. That video yesterday, I re-looked at it, and yeah, I've got to critique my skills on these reviews for these guns. But, however, this is a new day. I think we are on day 9, if I can remember. If you looked at the thumbnail, I'm in my F-150, and it's maroon. It's an older truck. It's an '05, but this bad boy keeps ticking, and I love this truck. I also have a Tundra, but I love trucks because I've never had to depend on too many people to help me out if I need to move or anything like that. So that's why I usually keep a pickup truck or SUV or something around that I can either hook a trailer up to, or that just so I can haul stuff by myself. But anyway, this truck's name is Big Willie. For you guys who know me, you've seen Willie before. I love me some Willie. But the reason I named this truck Willie was because of my great uncle. And this guy was a beast. This was the only man that I've ever known that I saw actually pull off a belt and try to whip another man. Well, not try. He was going after a man. So let's get into why I named this truck Willie. And it's to me, it's a good story. I hope you enjoy it. But my family is from Alabama and Ohio. So half of my family is in Alabama, half of my family is in Ohio, and then on another side, they're in North Carolina. But they all migrated to Ohio. But I lived in Alabama for a long time. And I love Alabama. But I also like my home, Ohio. But I have some good memories there. So my great-grandfather owned about 500 acres of land. And they called him Mr. Moore. And he had a son out of, I think my great-great-grandfather had 19 or 20 children. It was somewhere along in there. Yeah, he moved. He wasn't a Rolling Stone, but we did call him Papa, that's for sure. Anyway, we had about 1.5 acres of land, and I think he owned a couple of acres. And my Uncle Willie used to farm this land. So my whole family was on this 5 acres. Now, you know, it's my great-grandfather, so by the time I came along, some of this had already been sold, but a lot of it was still in the family, and we were still living off of it. Now, everybody wasn't a farmer, but my Uncle Willie, I do believe he farmed, and by the time I moved down there and met him, I think he had retired. He was probably 65, but I don't know what he did in his youth, but Willie was a bad man, because nobody messed with Willie. Anyway, in the country, and I don't know who's from the city, who's from the country, what's going on, in the country where I was at, you had to bush hog fields. So it's tall grass that grows up, and it's sticker briars and everything. So a lot of people would bush hog. But some people would also do a controlled burn, which is what one of my cousins was attempting to do. He had a house that was just like ours, just a different color, but his was probably 1.5 miles. We were a couple acres apart. So it was a Saturday. I'll never forget this. It was a Saturday, and my uncle and my cousin and a few other, relatives were up in this trailer, what you guys may know as a juke joint. And they were up in this trailer, they're gambling, they're drinking, they're doing things. Well, before my cousin went up to drink, he lit a fire to burn some of this brush off of his land. Well, they got up there, they were having a good time, and we got home, and everything is ablaze. So it started coming up on our property. So my dad is like, what is going on? Who started this fire? Let's go figure it out. So I'm like, well, at this point I'm little. I'm like 12. My uncle, he was like 65. So we jump in the truck and we go down the street. When I say down the street, it's a couple acres, a couple miles down the street. And we go to this juke joint. And inside, these men are gambling. So my dad goes up and he asks, hey, what's going on? Who lit this fire? This is down here. We need to call somebody because now it is burning out of control. And my Uncle Willy, he talked real country. He'd say stuff like, have you ever seen the old men? Watch out now. Get on up there, boy. Stuff like that. What you doing? He talked like that, real southern, but just a big, massive man. Anyway, he always wore overalls. That's the other thing I remember. He always had on overalls. Whenever I saw him, he had on overalls. So he comes out. My dad explains what's going on to my Uncle Willy. He goes in and says, what son bitch, and going in here burning this land out here. And my cousin, his name was Roy. And he said, Roy, what you been doing? You out here burning this? And they get into an argument. Roy said something that ticked my uncle off. I forget what it was that he said or what phrase or whatever. But my uncle said, oh, you young boy. And he took off his belt. And I've never seen my uncle run besides this. But he went after the guy with this belt. He is going to tear Roy's behind up. So Roy takes off. He lights off. He's not having any part of this. Now, get that all of these men are up there and all of them have something on them. Whether it's some type of thing to protect themselves. It could be a knife. It could be a little billy club. It could be a gun. It could be something. But all these men, it was not a place for punks. Like you did not, and when I mean punk, I mean a person who cannot fight. So that's what I mean by punk, since we're in this whole thing. But don't take offense to it. If you do, anyway, I wasn't raised around any soft men. Usually they were really nice to their family. Everybody loved each other, but they were ready to go. So that's how I was kind of raised, being around them and growing up and seeing these juke joints and how these men handled situations in the other men. But when I went to the dealership to see this truck, it looked solid. It started up every time. It was beautiful, and it just caught my eye. And so I said, that's Willie. If I've never seen a sturdy man that ain't afraid of anything, that's Willie, and that is this truck. So I am taking a little drive today, and I'm going to end this here very soon because I'm reaching the 9-minute mark. But I just wanted to share that with you guys on day 8. I'm also working on my storytelling. I know I said, the SOB, but that's what he said. He said, you little son of a bitch. And it was good to be able to bring up the memory of my uncle who was just this great, loving, sturdy man, but just didn't take anything from anybody. And that's what I learned that you have to do. Be as nice as pie until it's time not to. And when it's time not to, you go for broke. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's day 8. I have a few people that have watched it. Thank you for watching my other videos. I have 8 subscribers. Again, I started off with 0. I got 8. So right now I'm happy. I've completed my challenges so far. I don't know what I'll do tomorrow. It could be a gun. It could be another story. It's really blessing my soul to be able to dig deep into my memory and tell some of these stories that kind of shaped me as a man. I'm happy you guys are along for the journey. But I am almost to my spot. So I am going to get off of here and get things going, get my weekend started. It's been a hard week, and it's going to be a hard weekend. I've got some stuff to do. But anyway, I digress. I've been on here long enough. I love you guys. I hope that you have a great evening and great weekend. And I will see you tomorrow for, I believe it will be day 9. So, day 9, here we come. All right.